Okay, fine. Okay, fine. Let me start. So last week we have discussed about city type 1, type 2 and all those things. Okay. So my voice is audible. Can you see my screen? Is it visible?
Yes,
Screen visible?
yes,
Okay, fine, fine. The screen is visible. So last week we had discussed about this city. I have not uploaded that recording. There were very few I think only one, two, very few has joined. Okay, there was some. I think 26 January or something like that. I'm not sure what happened. So let me repeat this concept again. Okay, so SCD is slowly changing dimension. This is very important from ETL perspective. If you are working in any ETL project, this concept will come into picture. This is very important. Okay, so generally there are three SCDs: SCD1, SCD2, and SCD3. So we should know that first of all, what all are these SCDs and where you have to use this SCD in your project. Okay. So the first example is, suppose on 11th of January 2020, you have received this record from the source file. Okay, ID is one, name is a department technical, Delhi is the location. Okay, then after you receive the data in the source file, you will load data in the staging area. So that is what we have loaded this in the staging table. Okay, so fine, so far it is fine, understood?
yes,
Okay, after that what happened next day? Okay, next day, then you received a new file in which it is mentioned that A has been transferred to Mumbai. Okay, now A has been transferred to Mumbai. So if A has been transferred to Mumbai and already in staging you have this record, so what you will do now? Now you have two ways, two scenarios how to load data. First of all, what you will do, already in staging this information was there, that one ID1, name A, department technical, location was Delhi. Okay, but now he has shifted to Mumbai, so you will create one more record, one new record with the name as Mumbai. Correct? Then
yes,
you have to create a flag N and Y. So N means this is inactive, earlier he was staying in Delhi. Y means this is yes, this is active, so now he is staying in Mumbai. Okay, and this is the duration, that is from 25th November 2019 till 10th of February 2020 he was staying in Delhi, and then from 11th February 2020 till this high end date, because we never know that till when he will be staying in Mumbai. So this 31st 12 999, this is another high end date. Okay, so we will keep this date. Okay, so this is one scenario, one way that you can store data when the information is changing. Okay, or else the second way is, what you can do is, you will think that okay, earlier he was staying in Delhi, so now update this Delhi to Mumbai. Okay, this is again one way that you can store the data. Now if you see the scenario one, here what we are doing, we are maintaining the history. If someone wants to know that where he was staying earlier, he can see that okay, earlier he was staying in Delhi from this direction to this direction, but now he is staying in Mumbai. Correct? But in scenario two, if you are storing data like this, so it is fine that now he is staying in Mumbai. But if someone will ask you that, okay, before Mumbai, where he was staying, so you don't have that information. Correct? So this is known
yes,
as SCD1. Okay, this is known as SCD1. SCD1 means you are just bothered about the latest data. You are not maintaining the historical data. So this is
we
known as
override the
SCD1.
previous data, no?
Oh, sorry, what?
We just override the previous data.
Ah, correct, correct. That will override, that will update the previous data. So this is known
Okay,
as SCD1. Okay. But here, if you will see, this is SCD2. So here what we are doing, we are maintaining the history. So from this, you can see, anyone can see that, okay, he was staying in Delhi earlier. Now he is staying in Mumbai. You can get full information. So this is known as
yes,
SCD2. SCD2 means you are maintaining the historical data. And in SCD1, you are just bothered about the latest data. So you will override or you will update the latest one. Okay, is this
okay,
clear?
yes,
Similarly, suppose again the next day you got a new source file, and that source file, it is mentioned that now A has been transferred to Kolkata. Okay, A has been transferred to Kolkata. So if you are working on SCD2, what you will do? You will create a new record now. Correct? A new record will be created with the name as location as Kolkata, and the earlier two records will be marked as N, and the latest record will be Y. So from this flag column Y, you can understand that okay, now he is staying in Kolkata, but earlier he was staying in Delhi and Mumbai. And then you have this column start date and end date. From this, you can find out that and during which duration he was staying in which particular location. So this is the benefit of SCD2. If you are maintaining in your project, you can get the full information or historical information as well, that before this particular location where he was staying and for which duration he was staying there. But in SCD1, if you are working, you will again now update that from Mumbai to Kolkata. You can see now it is updated to Kolkata. Okay. So in
Yes,
SCD1, yeah, yeah. Do you have any question, Siraj?
yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Just one doubt is there. In
Mm-hmm.
we maintaining a city type one, there is no changing in the ID like primary key ID is there now. We generating
Mm-hmm.
ID one
Mm-hmm.
two. If we added new row in
Mm-hmm.
SCT2, we say in
Mm-hmm.
SCT1 new row there is no change in the primary key, no?
I will
Or
come here. You see, there's a concept of surrogate key you are discussing. I will come to this one right now. Okay. Is that clear? Siraj, can you hear me?
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, so that is what I'm telling. So now you are correct that in SCD2, you can see here that the IDs, it is same, right? ID is same because we are just repeating the records and changing the location. So to solve this problem, we have a concept of surrogate key. Okay, so what we will do that automatically, this is automatic generated key. So automatically you see the number will increase after 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it will go on increasing. So this column is known as surrogate key column. You will increase, it is an auto generated key column. So this values will go on, it will go on increasing. Okay. Have you answered? Is this a question you were asking or something different?
I also asked this. This is ID is there now
Correct.
one.
This will be
I
same.
first
ID will be
same
same. It will be same. Yeah.
same
Mm-hmm.
for
Because
all the record
for
new
all the
records
records,
all the
all the new records as well, ID will be same because this particular employee A, how the employee ID can change. Employee ID will not change. Employee ID will be same, right? So ID is the same ID you have to
okay.
repeat. Okay, but you are correct that now if you are following this format, so in this table now we don't have any primary key, right? Because this is duplicate now. So to solve this problem, we have a concept of surrogate key.
Okay.
So what will happen? We will add one more column and this will be auto generated. So now we can see, we can tell that, okay, this column is the primary key. This ID
Mm,
underscore sta is the primary key for our case. Okay. And this
mm,
is auto generated column. This will go on increasing. Again, if you are adding new record now, so this will become
mm,
4. Okay.
yes.
So this is SCD1 and SCD2. So in SCD2, you are maintaining history. Okay. And in SCD1, you are directly updating the data. You are not bothered about the history. Okay. Is this clear?
Yes.
Yeah, very good. And in SCD2, you are correct that the IDs are getting repeated. So now we have duplicate IDs here. So to solve this problem, we have a concept of surrogate key. These values will go on increasing. Okay, fine. Then after this, after this, we have concept of okay, same thing I'm repeating. Okay, now coming to SCD3. Okay, try to understand. So any question on SCD1 and SCD2?
No.
Any question? No question. Okay.
No.
Now coming to SCD3. SCD3, what will happen? Suppose this employee one, name A, he was from tech department. Okay. So we will maintain like this. Previous location was Delhi, current location is Mumbai. Okay. And suppose again it changed from Mumbai to Kolkata. So what we will do? We will maintain like previous is Mumbai, now it is Kolkata. Okay, we are maintaining only the last record and the current record. Okay, so from Mumbai he got transferred to Kolkata now. So the previous location is Mumbai and the current location is Calcutta. Okay, but sometime in your project they will tell you that no, I want to know the last two locations. So you have to add one more column: last location, previous location, and current location. So in that case, the last location will be Delhi, previous location is Kolkata, current location is Mumbai. Okay, and suppose again it changed, he went to Hyderabad, so your last location will shift here, Kolkata, then Mumbai, and now it is Hyderabad. Is it clear?
Yes.
Okay, so this is known as SCD3. So in STD3 as well, you are maintaining history, but you are maintaining very limited history. Only last two locations, so the previous location or last to last location, like that.
Mm.
Any question on this, Siraj?
In in ICD type 1, we just adding a new row. Okay,
Uh,
we kept the
no, no,
historical
no.
data.
In type 2, SAD type 2, we are adding a new row. In SAD 1, we are just
Okay.
updating.
In SCD 1, we are just overriding the
Overriding. Correct, correct.
overriding. And SCD 2, we just add a new row. In
Uh-huh.
SCD 3, we just add new column. No?
Ha,
New column
yeah.
for. Okay.
Ha, in SAD3, we will add a new column. You're correct.
Okay.
Okay. But that has to
Yes.
be discussed with your project. Okay. In the project, they will tell you that how many columns you have to add. It is not like that you will go on adding. Okay. If they will tell that, no, I want
Okay.
only the last two columns or something like that. So you have to maintain only
Yes.
those columns. Okay. So this
Okay.
was all about SAD1, SAD2, and SAD3.
3.
Okay. Now, then you have derived column validation. Okay, I will come to this. I will show this with the help of example. But before that, let me finish this master and static table validation. Okay, this is very important. You should know this. What is master table or what is a static table? Okay. See, in Etl projects, there's a concept of master table or like a static table. Okay, I will tell you what is this master table or a static table. Let's try to understand this. Master static. Okay. I'm giving you one example. There can be many examples for this. Okay, suppose this is a country table. Okay, this is a country table. This is the name and this is the code. Suppose starts from USA. They kept the code as US. Then suppose for India, we get the code as IN. Okay, and for Russia, we get the code as RS. Okay, and suppose if it is Pakistan, they maintain the code as PK. Okay, like this. Okay, suppose if it is like United Kingdom, maintain the code as UK. Okay, so what is the benefit of this and why it is known as master static table? I will tell you all these things. Just a minute, hold on. Okay, now suppose you have a separate table in which you are getting transactions detail. This is a transaction table. Code and profit. Okay, suppose I mention US, profit is 100 rupees. India, let's suppose 50 rupees. RS is 30 rupees. Suppose if they are maintaining like this. Okay, so from this, what will happen? If I will tell code US, so maybe someone will not understand that what this code is all about. Okay, so what you have to do, you have to refer this table. Okay, so you will find that, okay, US means USA, correct? Similarly, IN. So you have to refer this table. This is a master table. And from IN, you understand that, okay, it is India. Okay, so what is the benefit of this? Maybe this US will come 100 times in this table. Okay, so you have to write USA, or take the example of India. So India, it will come 100 times in this table. So you have to, every time you have to write India, India, right? And that will use a space. So if you're referring to this table, so you have just mentioned once India. Suppose if you have to mention India again, just suppose 40 next day. Again, suppose India is coming and it is 70. Okay, so see what's the benefit if you are not mentioning this. If you are, instead of IN, if you are mentioning here India full, so do you think you are using more space here? Correct.
Yes. Yes.
IN is short, we are using only 2 characters, but here you're using INDIA 5 characters. Okay, so like this you can save a space. Okay, and just if you want to know the full form of IN, you can refer this country table. That is why this is known as master or a static table. Generally it contains the codes. Okay, or I have taken example of country, then you have currency as well. Okay, they will mention the currency as well. They will create a new table currency table, and they will mention some currencies and code. Okay, suppose it is Indian rupee. You will write as INR. Suppose it is US dollar. Write it USD. Okay, so like this they will be having currencies. Okay, suppose if it is dinar, they mention dinar, TN. Okay, or whatever it may be. So like that, similarly, if you're using this in a column, suppose you have this column, you're mentioning code here. So you will just write INR. US, if it is US dollar, you will write US dollar. You will write INR. Okay. If you don't want to write USD, then you have to write full that, okay, this is US dollar, and that will take more space. So these are known as master or a static table, where you can refer and you can retrieve the data. Why this is a static table? Because the values doesn't change very frequently. Okay, hardly in 6 months or a year, the value will change. Or if you're starting your business in a new country or new currencies, then you will add a new record. Okay. So, so this is known as master static table, and you have to do lookup. This is also known as lookup table.
Okay.
If in the interviews they're
The,
asking what is master table, static table, or lookup table, so this is known as master static or lookup table. The values which are stored in this are static, that doesn't changes very frequently. Okay, and in the code you are referring, you're looking into this table to fetch the data. Yeah, you were asking some question, Siraj?
there is three types of table now: master, transaction, and one more is there, reference table.
Oh, that is different. I will come to that. Transaction table and reference table, that is different. So this is also known as master table, static table, or lookup table. Okay,
Okay.
because this has a static data, you are looking into this and you are fetching the information. Generally your country codes, your currency codes, or sometimes the business specific data will be stored here. Okay. Any question on this? Sir, is
No,
this clear?
not at all.
Okay,
Yes.
okay, fine. Then reconciliation testing. Okay, what is reconciliation testing? Any idea?
No.
Okay,
Re-
try to understand this. This is reconciliation testing. Suppose reconciliation testing. What happens? Suppose you are working on an Etl project. Okay, you have done all the validation, source file validation, you have loaded data in staging area, integration area, access layer, and finally the data you are showing on report. Okay, then what you will do? You will send an email to your business stakeholder that, okay, fine, the project, the report is ready now. You can see the report. Okay, are you getting my point? You will tell that, okay, the project is ready now. Please refer the reports. Okay, and this is the first time you are creating the report. So the moment you will tell that, okay, report is ready, we can send you reports, or the report is on OBI platform or Power BI platform. You can fetch the reports from there. So what will happen? The business stakeholders, they will not trust you. Okay, I will tell you the reason why this happens. Earlier, the business stakeholders, they're preparing report on Excel. So most of the business stakeholders, the business analysts, and all those guys, no, they used to prepare these reports and everything. They used to prepare on Excel. Excel is a very powerful tool for them. All the transactions, profit, loss, assets, revenues, everything, they will calculate on Excel. Okay. Now, I think I have discussed in the very beginning that this is the problem. There are a lot of manual task is there. So that is what they thought of starting an ETL project, because in that project everything will be automated and they can get the reports whatever they are looking for. Correct? That's the main objective of any ETL project. They can get the report of whatever they want. So now you have created a report and you are sending them that the report is ready. So first of all, they will not trust you. So what they will do to gain confidence, they will give you a report of January or any other month 2020. Okay, suppose they will give you a report of January 2020 and they will tell you that, okay, this is the report, sample report of January 2020. Now please compare the data which is present on this report which we have curated, okay, for January 2020 with the report which you have curated on OBI platform or Power BI platform or whatever platform it is. Okay, and compare the numbers. Okay, if the numbers on your report is exactly same with the numbers which was coming earlier on my report, then it is fine. It means we can trust that, okay, it is coming fine. So this is known as one of the like reconciliation testing. You are reconciling the numbers which was coming earlier on the report and the numbers which are coming now on the reports. They both are same or not. If there is an issue, if the numbers there is a mismatch, then you have to get back to the development team. You have to check the logic is correct or not, or the requirement was mentioned correctly or not. Okay, then you have to fix it. Otherwise, if everything is good, then you can send that reconciliation report to the business stakeholders that yes, we have done the reconciliation, everything looks good now. So they will gain some confidence and then they can start referring your reports. So that is what before publishing reports. So at the very beginning, you have to do this reconciliation testing. Is this clear, sir? Any question?
Yes.
Okay, so this is
Reconciliation.
hmm.
Yes. Reconciliation means the reporting testing, na?
Reconciliation, this is not always report testing, but this is like report testing is there. Sometimes you have to do reconciliation in your access layer as well. That the numbers what is coming on the data mart final layer, that is exactly same as the numbers which was coming earlier. Okay, if you're working on data migration project, okay, so you're migrating data from one
Okay.
server to another server or one database to another database. So in that again, what you will do, you will match the numbers only. Okay, that the number which was present in the earlier database is same as in the current database or not. So you are doing like a reconciliation. Okay, so you cannot tell that reconciliation testing is report testing always. No, they are different. Report testing is one of the method of reconciliation testing. But reconciliation testing, you can do the testing of a data mart as well. Or if you're working in data migration project, you are moving the data from one server to another server. So you can check that the numbers are correctly populated in the new server or not. Okay. So reconciliation testing, it means like you're matching the data. The numbers are coming correctly or not. Okay. Any
No.
question?
Okay. No. No.
Okay, so this was all about. We will discuss about this at later point of time. Okay, there's some generic concepts, but most of the things, most of the core concepts related to ETL we have covered. And in interviews, no, you will see the questions will be around this only. If you have experience, you will find that they will ask questions around this only. So first of all, you should know the journey of ETL, that what ETL is all about. Okay, that how it is flowing, what all layers are there, in which layer what validation you have to do, and all those things. Okay, so
Yes.
this is what your ETL is. It starts from extracting the data, and then you have to move data to the staging area, and after that to the multiple integration layer of the access layer, and finally you are showing on the report. So this report, this should be correct. This should show the accurate number. This is the end fruit. Okay, now yeah. So let me discuss a little bit about cloud data warehouse, because nowadays, like cloud, everything is moving on cloud. I think you know. So you should not only restrict yourself to ATL, but you should know about cloud as well. That what at least something, some idea should be there, because nowadays during ETL interviews they're asking about cloud as well. Okay, so cloud data warehouse, the best thing is improved access. Okay, you are having access to different like servers. Suppose your business is now working on 10 servers. Okay, and tomorrow immediately you want 15 servers. So if you are on cloud, you can get those 5 servers immediately on rent. Okay, then next day again, suppose you want to bring that down to 10, you can reduce that. So that's the best part of cloud. It means you can get more servers, or you can reduce the servers whenever you want it. Okay, so scalability, that is what you can increase or decrease the access, or as per the need. Access to real-time data from multiple sources. Correct, yeah. It works on on your batch processing as well as stream processing data, that you can get data from multiple sources, and you can get access to that. Better analysis by data scientists. Here the analysis is better, because you can get data like from multiple sources, and uh, both the unstructured data and as well as structured data. Okay, This is less expensive because you are everything is on rent. You don't have to buy. Okay, that is what this is less expensive, better performance than traditional device database auto upgrade. This is having auto upgrade feature. So any idea about cloud? First of all, do you have?
Not the first time I'm.
Oh, okay. Cloud, you don't have any idea. Okay, fine.
No.
See, cloud. Oh, okay. You have heard about cloud nowadays. Cloud is is their technology, right?
Yes.
So what is cloud? See, cloud is like suppose in your house right now you have four chairs. Okay, you have four chairs right now. Okay. Now tomorrow you are organizing a function in your house. Okay, you are organizing a function, and in that function you are inviting 30 people. Okay, your 30 friends are coming in that function. Now tell me, those four chairs are sufficient, or you
No.
want to do some management, right?
No.
You will,
Another 26 will be added.
another 20 odd chairs are required, right? Correct, no?
Yes.
20, 25 odd chairs are required. So now you
Yes.
have two options. Either you go and buy 25 chairs or rent it 25 chairs, right? So which one you will go for? You will buy or you will go for rent?
I go for rent.
You will go for rent because they just want those 25 chairs of 1 day or 2 day maximum. Correct, no? So
Yes.
similarly in cloud, it is like if okay, suppose today any particular business they have 10 servers, okay, and now it is the festive time. Assume there's some festive time is going on, and immediately they are getting lot of data. They have to process huge volume of data, okay, and you know that festive season is just for 2 to 3 days. Fine. So now they want more servers. So what they have to do? They have to buy the servers. Okay, correct, no? And then they have to
Yes.
maintain that server as well. Okay, fine. They bought 5 servers. Now how many servers they have? 15 servers. Okay, and those 15 servers are performing their task perfectly. But after 2 to 3 days, the festive season is over. Now again, those 5 servers which you have bought, it is of no use. So again, you are working only on 10 servers. Now tell me, the 5 servers, you have spent huge money on purchasing those 5 servers, and then you have to maintain it as well. Okay. Suppose instead of that, if someone has rented you 5 servers, so will that be better option or not?
Yes.
That will be better option. So that is
Yes.
cloud. In cloud, you don't have to keep your own server. You don't have to keep your own database, nothing. Everything this cloud vendors will give you on rent, and they will take care of all these things. Okay, everything will be on rent. So how much you will use, you have to pay that much only. So that is something known as cloud. It means nothing is present in your house, everything is present on the cloud. Whenever you want, they will give you. If you are not using, they will not charge you. Okay, this is the benefit of cloud. Now, if you see here, this is like cloud. Okay, earlier everything was stored in our local machine or in our office premises like that. Now everything is has moved to cloud. So whenever you want, you can fetch from here. Whenever you want, you can fetch from here. So what all data you have to push into the cloud, and from cloud you can get all the data. So this cloud technology, this will give you scalability, reliability, flexibility, and security, because you are flexible now. You want to increase the size, you can decrease the size, and you don't have to buy it, you don't have to maintain it. Everything will be done by the cloud vendors like Amazon, okay, and Microsoft Azure, and then you have Google cloud platform, GCP. Okay, so is this clear?
Yes.
Oh.
One doubt is there.
Mhm.
If there is we use 2 to 3 days for this cloud, for we
Mhm.
get it rented.
Mhm.
Uh, after after all these 2 to 3 days, after that all the data will be maintained by the cloud.
Oh, they will maintain. Everything will be done by them. You don't have to maintain. Nothing you have to do. Just you have to
Okay.
push all those data in the cloud, and then whenever you want, you can get it from here. Okay.
Okay. They did not erase the data, no? After using
No,
that.
no, 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 no. They will not do
Uh,
anything. Yeah.
yes.
Okay, and these are the vendors: Google, Amazon, Microsoft as well. Okay, these are the very famous vendors nowadays. We have many other vendors as well. Nowadays, Oracle is also coming into picture, but these three are the very famous these days: Google, Amazon, and Microsoft. Now, these are the challenges in ETL testing. Okay, ETL testing is a bit complex and requires a data-centric approach. Yeah, that is why ETL testing is considered as bit complex testing, because it is totally related to data only. You are playing with data. But that is why I started this session with mentioning the data validation. First of all, you have to validate the data, the quality of data is correct or not. Because if the data which you are getting in the source file, if it is not correct, so ultimately what will happen? You will show the incorrect number on the report. So that is what data is very the quality of data is very important in ETL testing. You should know, and that is what you should be very smart enough in SQL language. Then only you can fetch the data what you want. Then only you can check that the duplicate is there not, deduplication is there not, and all those things. Large volumes of data, millions of records. Yeah, in ETL projects you will see that you are having millions of records, 12 million, 15 millions, like that. Heterogeneous data sources. Heterogeneous data sources means there are no specific format. You can get data sources from multiple sources. Someone will send you in .dat format. Someone will send you in .csv format. Someone will send you in server. Okay. Okay. And now, and again, the nature of data will be like structured data, unstructured data, and all those things. So that is what handling this is complicated, and you have to be very much careful. Transformation testing needs expertise in writing complex SQL queries. That is what I told you. SQL queries, you have to play with the SQL. So that is what you should be very smart enough in SQL queries, because there are many transformation logics, some complicated logics are there. And if you have to test, then you should know how to write those queries. Test data generation. Many a times you have to generate the test data. You have to prepare your own test data. If you remember during file level validation, I have mentioned all those things, that many times you have to prepare test data. You have to insert it in the table, or you have to insert in the file, and you have to see that those criteria, those conditions are getting met or not. It means you have to do negative testing and positive testing both.
Yes.
So overall, challenges in ETL testing is like, this is data-centric testing. Okay, you are playing with data, huge volume of data is there, and you have to guarantee that the quality of data is correct. Okay, so that is what, first of all, you should be very smart in SQL, and you should know that each and every layer where you have to test. Okay, it is not like you can do high-level testing, but you should know the data, from what sources data is coming, what is the quality of data, what is the threshold value, deduplication is there or not, duplicate is there or not, reconciliation you're doing perfectly or not. Okay, if the job is getting failed, what is the reason why the job is getting failed? Okay, uh, these are some of the famous ETL tools. Okay, so you don't have to bother about this. And even you are not supposed to know all these tools. You see, I'm again repeating, most of the students, they will think that ETL, it is all about tools. No, more than tools, you should know about SQL and Unix and Python. ETL is more about learning the languages. Okay, nowadays the tools, many the companies, they have their in-house tools of the ETLs. So don't think that, okay, I know Informatica, I know ETL. No, Informatica is for ETL developers. From testing perspective, you should only know that, okay, where the mapping is and all those things, nothing else. If you're working on ETL, you should know the various layers, various steps where you have to do the testing, and the SQL knowledge and the Unix shell scripting. And nowadays Python is also very much important. So these are the famous ETL tools in the market. In this Informatica Power Center, this is more famous but costly as well. Okay. Advantages of ETL tools: comprehensive automation and ease of use. Yeah, if you're using ETL tools, so like in Informatica, so even if yeah, for every mapping, it is not required that you have to write SQL query. They have many functions and mappings. Through that you can implement the logics. That is what I told you, user-friendly drag and drop interface. They have like drag and drop, just drag and drop, automatically it will join the tables using that primary key or foreign key column, so whatever you have. So these are few of the like advantages of ETL tools. Okay. Any questions, Siraj?
No.
Are you getting all those things? Simple?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, this is like a structured versus unstructured data. Nowadays, in interviews, it's you will be getting these questions: what is structured data? What is unstructured data? So first of all, properties like formats. A structured data, several formats. Unstructured data, huge variety of formats. Yeah, and if in a structured data, if you have 5 formats, then in unstructured data you can be having more than five. It can be like 10 formats. 20. I will tell you what is this format. Okay, data model predefined, not flexible, not predefined, flexible. You see here in the structured data, everything is predefined. Okay, it means the data you are storing in tables and rows. It will be in text format. But unstructured, it can be your audio file, it can be your video file, it can be your mails, it can be your images and all this. So there is no predefined format here. Okay, but in structured data, you have predefined format. You can store that in your tables in rows and column. That is why this is known as a structured data. And that is why the name is SQL, is structured query language. It works only on the structured data. A structured data are stored in the data warehouse, okay, or database. But to store unstructured data, you have the concept of data lakes. Why the data lake? Because here you can dump all the data. You are not bothered with the structure, unstructured, audio, video, image, whatever is there, you can dump it here. But in data warehouse, you cannot dump your audio files, your images or video files. You cannot dump here. In data warehouse, or you can dump only, or you can store only a structured data. That is your text data or data which can be stored in tables, rows, and columns format. And database, here we are using SQL databases. Here we are using NoSQL database. Ease of search, it is easy to search, but here it is very difficult to search. Why? Because there is no specific pattern, there is no specific format. Okay, and data nature quantitative, and this is qualitative. Okay, any question on this? Any question if you have? So you don't have to go much detail about this, but you should know at least what is the
Yes.
structure or what is unstructured. If they're asking questions, you should have some idea that what is the structure or what is unstructured.
Yes.
And these are the various analysis methods we are using for a structured data, and this we are using for unstructured data mining. Although data mining is used for a structured data as well, but generally in a structured data we use this. And then RDBMS, CRM, OLAP, OLTP. These are the different tools and technologies in a structured data. RDBMS is like relational database management system, and then you have CRM application. OLAP, we will discuss OLAP in the coming slides. Online analytical processing, online transaction
Yes.
processing.
Yes.
But here mostly we are using visualization tools, artificial intelligence, your machine learning, data analytics, data scientists. They all work on top of unstructured data mostly,
Data.
but they have a structured data as well. Okay, but
Yes.
slowly the thing is like everything will be moved on. Most of the data will be unstructured. I'm not telling that structured data will not be there, that will also be there, but nowadays most of the data are unstructured. You see, data scientists, engineers, and analysts, they are working on top of unstructured data.
Yes.
Any question?
No.
Is it clear? Structure and unstructured data?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. These are the examples. Structured data, your date of birth, your phone number, your name, your transaction data. These are structured data. Okay, and this is semi-structured. HTML, XML, JSON, server
Yes,
logs.
sir.
This is semi-structured data, and this is totally unstructured data. Your PDF, your TX format, images. Okay, images, videos, emails. These are unstructured data. Why this is unstructured data? Because you cannot store this in table format. You cannot store this in rows and columns format. That is why this is unstructured.
Unstructured.
Then you have this concept data lake versus data warehouse. You see this mineral water, I have quantities. This is data warehouse, and this entire water, this is data lake. Why? Because in mineral water, this bottle, Aquafina bottle, this is having very limited and mineral water. Okay, this is purified water. But in data lake, you never know that what kind of water is present here, what all sources are there. Maybe rainwater is coming, maybe from drain water is coming. That is what this is known as data lake. And that is why when I was discussing about unstructured data, I told you that this is about data lake. Why? Because you are not sure about the format. You are not sure about the sources. Okay, that is what your data lake will come into picture for unstructured data. But for structured data, you know that this is structured. This will be coming from this particular source, and this is very limited. Okay, so this is the example. Any question on this?
No, nothing.
Okay. Okay. Similarly, like this is like your data lake. In data lake, you have data coming from multiple sources. You see, on-premise data. It means data which is there in your premise or in your organization, that will be there. A real-time data moment. If you have data from some other sources, from social media sites, so everything will be dumped here in data lake. All the data will be there. Okay. And then on top of this, you will process this data. You will clean the data. You will apply the ETL logics, and then your machine learning or data analytics, they will work on top of this, and they can understand that how the business is performing. Okay, and accordingly they can change the policies or the rules and regulations. Okay, again, this is example to understand structured and unstructured data. If you can see on the left side, this data has been this data, what I have shown is like in table format. Like in users, you have full name, username, text created at, you have tweets table, then you have following table, and you can join these tables as well. So this is the beauty of a structured data. You know what you are storing. You know if you can join the tables. But in unstructured data, you can see right side. No, this is like unstructured. You have multiple sources. Okay,
Yes.
and data is of different format. Like I've shown you here, blue color and red color. It means this is different format of data. It can be structured, it can be unstructured. So you are not sure about the format, you are not sure about the data sources. That is something unstructured. But in a structured, this one left side, you are sure that what data you are fetching. You know that I want in users table, I have full name, username, text, and character. You know, okay, and they have relation as well. But in unstructured, no specific format, no specific data sources. Okay, so that is why this is known as unstructured data. Nowadays, you should know this thing. These are the in good MNCs and other organizations. They're asking this kind of questions as well. So that's why I'm covering these things. Okay. Okay, metadata will be covered in the later slides. Okay, again, I'm covering data warehouse versus data lake. What's the difference? In data warehouse, think first load data. It means in data warehouse, you are limited. You should know that what data you have to load. Okay. But in data lake, you first of all, you will load all the data from all the sources. And then you will think that what information you want. Okay. In data warehouse, it is like a structured data, but in data lake, it is a structured, semi-structured, or unstructured data. Fine. And then you have expensive for large data storage. Yeah, data warehouse is expensive, too expensive. But this is data lake is not that much expensive. Why this is expensive is before this you have to design everything. You have to hire an architect who will design everything, and things are costly because you have a specific format here. But here there are no format. Okay, whatever data you have, just dump it. You don't have to think anything specific here. And then after dumping, then you will find, then you will think that what kind of information I want to fetch from this. This is less agile, rigid. It means why this is rigid? Because it is having a specific format. It cannot move from that format left or right. But this is very flexible. You can store whatever data you have. Everything you can store here. Okay. And then this is used for reporting purpose, and this is for analytics purpose. This is used for data scientists. This is matured. Why? Because this is used for last 30 to 40 years, more than that. But still, this is a new concept. Still, this is coming into picture. Okay, so format of data. These are the different sources of data, like you're getting data from sales team, assets team, revenues, tax, HR. And this can be different format of data, .csv, .dat, MS SQL Server, JSON. So you can get data in all these formats. Any question, Raj, on this?
No, nothing.
Okay. So this is like example of JSON data I have shown you here. Just a minute, sir. Just a minute. Hold on. Okay, fine. So I think we have discussed this earlier as well, sources of data. So first of all, before starting for any ETL project, you should know that what all sources you have. Okay. Like example, I have shown you that maybe in a particular organization, they are getting data from sales team, assets team, revenues team, tax team, HR team. These are the different sources of data. But this totally depends on the project or the business requirement. They can have some other sources as well. And this also depends on domain. These things, what I have told you, this is from finance domain. Okay. And then format of data. Maybe some source will send you data in .csv format. Some of them will send you data in .dat format. Then MS SQL Server, JSON, and all those things. So this is example of JSON format I have shown you here. Okay. Now extraction, I think we have discussed this data extraction. So what we are doing in data extraction, we are extracting data from multiple sources. You can see that we have multiple sources. From all these sources, we are extracting the data. Okay, this is like WinZip application. Leave this as of now. Yeah, this we have covered. That these are the basic file validations. You have to validate all these things when you are getting the source file from the source team. I think we have already covered all these points. Any question on this, Siraj? Any in these points? You know, like we have covered all these things earlier.
Yes.
Okay. Same thing we have covered. Full load, incremental load.
Yes.
Okay. Now, data extraction tools. You have batch processing. Okay, what is batch processing? This is like legacy data extraction tools on premise data, homogeneous set of data sources, cloud-based real-time extraction data as part of ETL or ELT process. You see, what is batch processing? In batch processing, what happens? The jobs will run in batches. Okay, the data what you want to load, that will be based on the batches. Maybe like after 6 hours or 10 hours, they have some batch schedule that, okay, you have got some transaction, okay, from morning 6 a.m. to 12 p.m. So that data will not be loaded immediately in the database if it is running on batch. So after 6 hours, so batch will run, the job will run, and it will extract the data for the last 6 hours, and it will load into the database. So it is like batch processing. But sometime what happened, this is known as real-time processing or stream processing of data. Here what happened, immediately what all transactions are happening, that will be stored in the database. So your cloud-based architecture, it works on that only. Immediately what all transactions are happening, it will be saved, it will be stored. But in batch processing, you have to wait. Immediately it will not happen. Okay, so that will take some time. Okay. Okay, this transformation we'll discuss later on. Any questions so far?
None.
Is it clear?
Yes.
Okay, then I'll suggest leave it till here only, but please go through the slides and the recordings what I have discussed here. This is very important. We have discussed about cloud today, about the structured and unstructured data lake, because this things is future. Okay, and this is future. Nowadays the technology is changing, everything is moving on cloud, and then now we are handling unstructured data as well. You know, like NoSQL, why it is coming? Because to handle unstructured data. So now the technology landscape is changing. So that's why I've added these slides that, okay, the audience, they should know about this as well. So what is coming down the line. Okay, fine then. So let's go through these things. So we'll connect tomorrow again, and I will continue from here. We'll see some more information about this. Okay, thank you. Take care. Bye.
Bye. Bye.